1. Taylor Swift. Yes, Taylor Swift started in country, and yes, she wrote some solid songs early on, but her transition to pop left country music fans with a bitter taste. As much as she helped bring attention to country pop, many believe her talents as a singer-songwriter were overhyped during her country days. While tracks like Tim McGraw showcased some promise, it wasn't long before she leaned into pop sounds that left her roots behind. Sure, she made a splash with crossover hits, but her growth was more about marketing and image than maintaining any real country credibility. Some even argue that Swift's country period was more of a stepping stone to greater pop stardom than a genuine contribution to the genre. 2. Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is often hailed as the king of 90s country, but let's be real, his influence on the genre may be more about his pop appeal than pure country craftsmanship. His crossover success brought country to a larger audience, but his sound, filled with arena rock theatrics and over-the-top performances, wasn't exactly what purists had in mind when they thought of country music. While his hits like Friends and Low Places are iconic, many critics argue that Garth's success was more about showmanship than the quality of his songwriting. His impact on the genre can't be denied, but his brand of country often left traditionalists scratching their heads. His blend of pop country isn't everyone's cup of tea, which is why he's often considered overrated in the grander scope of country music history. 3. Shania Twain. Shania Twain became the queen of country pop in the 90s, but was her rise more about flash and flair than actual talent? Songs like Man, I Feel Like a Woman became anthems, but many question if they stand the test of time or are just catchy hooks with little substance. While Twain's ability to blend pop and country was undeniably influential, some would argue that her fame was built on the appeal of her image, not necessarily her vocal chops or songwriting depth. Sure, she dominated the charts, but her catalog hasn't exactly aged as gracefully as other icons in the genre. For some, Shania's impact is more about spectacle than pure country music. 4. Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton has had a massive career, but his success has been somewhat controversial for country fans. Known for his persona as the good old boy on The Voice, Shelton's music often leans more toward mainstream pop country, with generic lyrics and overly produced sounds that many purists consider lacking depth. While songs like Austin were well received early on, many of his later hits have felt more manufactured than genuine. The controversy isn't necessarily his voice or charm, but his tendency to ride the coattails of trends rather than set any new ones. For some, Shelton's success can feel like more of a popularity contest than a reflection of authentic country artistry.